Hey everyone, in this video, we'll uncover the most valuable Abraham Lincoln wheat penny you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these Lincoln wheat pennies so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, is a fascinating piece of American coinage history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin carries the classic design that collectors have admired for generations. Made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, it features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," at the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1957 to the right. Because this coin has no mint mark, it was produced in Philadelphia, where more than 282 million pieces were minted that year. On the reverse, two wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, with a pluribus unum at the top. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, symbolizes growth, prosperity, and the enduring strength of the American spirit. The 1957 wheat penny belongs to the last generation of Lincoln wheat cents, as the design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. Over time, these coins have become a favorite among collectors because of their historical significance and the nostalgia they carry. The coin in discussion is a brown shade example in fine condition. Its brown color, often called BN in numismatic grading, tells the story of decades of circulation and natural oxidation. Unlike red or red-brown examples that retain more of their original copper luster, a brown coin has mellowed into a deep tone from age and handling. This tone is normal and even desirable for a circulated piece, as it reflects the authenticity and journey of the coin through the hands of millions of Americans. The fine grade means that while the coin shows noticeable wear from circulation, its major details remain clearly visible. Lincoln's portrait, though softened, still has defined outlines. His cheek, hair, and coat show moderate wear, but no major damage. The inscriptions and the date are readable, and on the reverse, the wheat stalks and lettering are visible, though slightly worn at the high points. Examining such a coin carefully reveals a lot about its history. A collector should confirm that there is no mint mark under the date to verify it as a Philadelphia issue. The coin should weigh around 3.11 grams and measure about 19 millimeters in diameter. The edges are plain, as typical of U.S. cents. When grading, it is important to look for natural wear patterns rather than damage or cleaning. Cleaning a copper coin can remove its protective layer and reduce its value. Fine-condition coins like this should show consistent brown toning with no deep scratches or corrosion. Many coins of this year exist, but collectors still seek those with pleasant color, even wear, and good overall eye appeal. In today's market, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in fine condition, does not command a high premium, but it still holds collectible value beyond its face. On average, most circulated examples in fine condition sell between 40 cents and $1, depending on eye appeal and toning. Price guides such as USA Coin Book, Coin Value Checker, and Coin Trackers all indicate similar ranges, showing that even well-worn examples are worth several times their face value. In uncirculated grades, values can rise much higher, with red mint state coins bringing between $10 and $20 or more. Exceptional examples graded MS-67 and above have sold for remarkable sums, with one superb red specimen fetching over $20,000 at auction. These record prices remind collectors that quality and preservation can make even a common date coin exceptionally valuable. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the most recognized coins from the World War II era. Few, a time when the United States Mint was producing millions of coins to support the growing economy. This particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place a mint mark on its coins. The obverse features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" along the top edge, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1944, to the right. The reverse carries the two classic wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum positioned above. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most enduring coin designs in U.S. history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1944 Philadelphia issue is especially notable because it marked the return to the standard bronze composition after the experimental steel cents of 1943. These coins were made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them a warm reddish-brown tone when new. Over time, exposure to air and handling caused most of these coins to darken to a deep brown shade. In 1944, the Philadelphia Mint produced more than 1 billion wheat pennies, making it one of the highest mintage years of the entire series. Because so many were made, the 1944 penny is not rare in normal condition, but collectors still value it as a piece of American wartime history. The coin being described is in full damage condition, which means it has experienced heavy wear, corrosion, or significant surface problems. Damage can include deep scratches, dents, discoloration, or loss of detail that goes beyond normal circulation wear. On a damaged 1944 penny, Lincoln's portrait might be barely visible, the lettering may be faint or worn away, and the wheat stalks on the reverse can be nearly flattened. The color may have turned uneven or dark due to environmental exposure. Some scratches or pitting may be seen across the coin's surfaces, especially if it was stored poorly or found in the ground. Such a condition significantly affects the coin's collectible appeal and market value. While a well-preserved 1944 wheat penny can be an attractive addition to a collection, a fully damaged example is valued mostly for its metal content or sentimental value rather than for numismatic demand. Even so, it remains a genuine historical artifact. Each coin minted during 1944 tells part of America's story during the final year of World War II. Millions of these pennies circulated through the hands of soldiers, workers, and families on the home front, representing the perseverance and unity of the country during difficult times. Though this coin's surfaces may be worn and scratched, its presence reminds collectors of that important chapter in history. When assessing a damaged example, collectors look to see if the date and design are still identifiable. If the coin can still be recognized as a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny and not completely defaced, it retains minimal collector value. In today's market, a 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark in fully damaged condition typically holds only a small monetary worth. Most coin value guides place heavily damaged or corroded examples at around 1 to 5 cents, and in some cases, dealers may consider them worth no more than face value. Coins that are merely worn but not destroyed may bring 10 to 15 cents, but when severe scratches or corrosion are present, buyers are often only interested for novelty or educational purposes. For comparison, a 1944 penny in average circulated condition might be valued between 15 cents and 30 cents, while high-grade mint state red examples can reach prices of several dollars. Rare off-metal errors, such as 1944 pennies struck on steel planchets left over from 1943, can bring thousands of dollars, but those are extremely scarce and easily distinguished by their gray color and magnetic attraction. The damaged coin described here does not fall into that rare category, so its market value in today's collector environment remains very modest. Next up, the 1947 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark is a post-World War II coin that represents the final years of the beloved wheat cent design. It was struck at the San Francisco Mint, identified by the small letter S located just below the date on the obverse side. The coin's obverse features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" on the left side, and the date 1947 to the right. On the reverse, two elegant wheat stalks curve inward from the sides, encasing the words "1 cent" and "United States of America," with the Latin motto "E pluribus unum" above. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, had been in use since 1909 and was nearing the end of its 50-year run, before the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it in 1959. The 1947 S penny was minted in large numbers, with over 99 million pieces produced at the San Francisco Mint. These coins were struck in the traditional bronze alloy, composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams and measuring approximately 19 millimeters in diameter. When first minted, the coin displayed a bright reddish tone typical of freshly struck copper. But over time, most examples developed a warm brown patina due to exposure to air and handling. This natural toning is expected and even appreciated among collectors, as it shows the coin's genuine age and history. The example being described is in fine condition with some scratches, meaning that while it has circulated and shows moderate wear, its design details are still distinct and easy to identify. In fine grade, the central features of Lincoln's face and coat are worn but visible, and the inscriptions remain legible. The wheat stalks on the reverse show some flattening along the inner grains, but the outlines remain complete. Light scratches or small surface marks are common on circulated coins and do not greatly reduce the value unless they are deep or heavy. The color of this coin, likely a brown shade, reflects natural oxidation rather than damage. Many collectors prefer this authentic tone, as it provides character and proves the coin has not been harshly cleaned or altered. The S mint mark adds a bit of collectible interest because San Francisco minted wheat pennies often had slightly lower mintages than those struck in Philadelphia or Denver. When determining value, collectors consider both condition and overall eye appeal. Fine condition represents a moderate level of preservation, better than heavily worn examples, but not as sharp as extremely fine or uncirculated pieces. Most 1947 S wheat pennies are quite common, but coins in attractive condition continue to hold collector interest, especially when found in old collections or rolls of vintage cents. The scratches mentioned do lower the coin's grade slightly, but as long as the design remains visible and the surfaces are not corroded, the coin still retains collectible worth. In today's market, the value of a 1947 S Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition with some minor scratches generally ranges from about 15 cents to 50 cents, depending on the coin's color and appeal. Average circulated pieces often sell for less than $1, while higher-grade examples with original red luster can command a few dollars. Uncirculated red specimens may bring between $5 and $15, and certified high-grade mint state examples, graded MS-67 or higher, can occasionally reach values over $100. However, the fine condition coin described here falls into the affordable range for most collectors. Its modest value does not diminish its historical significance as a post-war artifact and a part of one of America's most collected coin series. Next up, the 1958 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, represents the final year of the classic wheat reverse design, bringing an end to nearly half a century of production that began in 1909. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, following tradition, did not place a mint mark on its coins. The obverse features the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," arching along the top, "Liberty" positioned to the left, and the date 1958 on the right side of Lincoln's bust. The reverse showcases the familiar two wheat stalks curving upward to frame the denomination 1 cent and the words, United States of America, with a pluribus unum placed elegantly above. This design had become a symbol of American history, circulating in the hands of millions. Before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, the 1958 Philadelphia issue is quite significant for collectors because it was the last of the wheat cents ever made. Over 252 million of these coins were struck, making it a common issue overall, but one that holds special sentimental and historical value as the final member of a beloved coin series. The composition remained the same as earlier bronze wheat cents, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving the coin its rich reddish-brown hue when freshly minted. Over time, oxidation and handling darkened many examples to a more subdued brown shade, such as the one being described here. Collectors often appreciate coins in brown color as they reflect the natural aging process of copper, especially when preserved in fine condition with original details still visible. The coin in fine condition generally shows light to moderate wear, meaning Lincoln's hair and cheek details remain visible, though softened, and all inscriptions are clear. The wheat ears on the reverse may show light wear on the upper kernels, but retain most of their definition. Some scratches or small marks might be present from circulation, yet the coin overall maintains an appealing, even surface tone. A 1958 wheat penny in such condition represents a well-preserved example that has seen honest use but avoided the heavy wear or corrosion common to older coins. The fine grade still allows collectors to enjoy the artistry of Brenner's design and the historical significance of this final year issue. In terms of market value, the 1958 wheat penny without a mint mark is not considered rare due to its high mintage. However, its value depends on condition and color designation: red, red-brown, or brown. A fine condition brown example like this one typically trades for around 5 to 10 cents in today's collector market. While this may not seem high, its worth goes beyond face value because it marks the end of an era. In higher grades, such as uncirculated or mint state red examples, prices can climb to several dollars, especially for coins with full original luster. Certified mint state pieces graded MS65 red or higher can reach values between $15 and $30 or more, depending on eye appeal and market demand. Proof versions made in 1958, which were struck in San Francisco, command much higher prices due to their brilliant mirrored surfaces and limited production. Although the coin in question has some scratches, its fine condition still makes it a desirable collectible for anyone building a complete Lincoln cent set or interested in historical U.S. coins. Many collectors seek to own a 1958 penny as a symbolic transition from the wheat design to the memorial reverse that debuted the following year. It's a coin that bridges two iconic periods in American coinage: the traditional craftsmanship of the early 20th century and the modern era that followed. Even with a few marks, this coin's charm lies in its authenticity and connection to everyday American life during the late 1950s. Next up, the 1950 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark is a classic mid-century American coin, struck at the San Francisco Mint during a period of strong post-war recovery and economic growth. This coin features the timeless obverse design by Victor David Brenner, portraying President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1950, along with the small S mint mark beneath it on the right side. The reverse design displays the familiar wheat ears curving upward on both sides, framing the denomination 1 cent and the words United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum placed elegantly above. This design, used from 1909 until 1958, is one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage history, symbolizing honesty, labor, and American heritage. The 1950 S. Lincoln wheat penny was minted in large numbers, with more than 118 million coins produced. Despite this, examples in fine or better condition remain collectible because they represent the charm of San Francisco mint craftsmanship from that era. These coins were made from a bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them a warm, rich tone that deepens over time. The coin in fine condition, with a brownish shade and a few small scratches from circulation, still holds strong visual appeal. Its surfaces might show mild wear on Lincoln's cheek and hair, but all major design details remain clear. The reverse wheat stalks retain most of their grain lines, showing moderate wear but still identifiable as part of the elegant wheat design. Although the 1950 wheat penny is not considered rare, its historical importance and aesthetic appeal make it an attractive collectible. It was struck during a time when copper was still the dominant metal in U.S. 1-cent coins, long before the shift to a copper-plated zinc composition decades later. Collectors appreciate this coin not only for its design, but also as a representative of the high quality coins minted in San Francisco. During the early 1950s, coins from this mint often display sharp strikes and fine details compared to their Philadelphia and Denver counterparts. In the current collector market, a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition typically holds a value between 10 and 20 cents, depending on its surface quality and color tone. Coins with fewer scratches, good eye appeal, and even brown coloration tend to attract the interest of collectors who value original patina over artificial brightness. In higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated condition, this coin's value increases notably. Uncirculated red examples can sell for several dollars, while certified mint state coins graded MS65 red may reach $10 to $20 or more, particularly when displaying rich luster and minimal marks. Proof-like or specially preserved examples can fetch even higher prices at auction. The 1950 wheat penny's worth extends beyond its small face value because it captures the spirit of American coinage at mid-century, a time of optimism and economic expansion. Holding such a coin is like holding a small piece of history that has traveled through decades of commerce and daily life. Its fine condition, though showing some scratches, represents the honest wear of circulation rather than damage. Every mark tells a story of use, from the hands of workers, shopkeepers, and children to the pockets of everyday Americans. Today, collectors continue to cherish this coin for its historical connection to both Abraham Lincoln and the classic wheat cent series. It bridges the gap between the early decades of the 20th century and the modern era of coin production. In the current market, depending on collector demand and condition, a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition with some scratches is typically valued between 0.10 and 0.25. Though modest in price, it carries lasting sentimental and historical significance as a symbol of America's enduring legacy, craftsmanship, and the timeless portrait of its beloved 16th president,